Greetings viewers, this is Monto Maverick coming at you with another video. Today we're going to continue the review for the high-end master model Zoid Sturm Tyrann. Now in this case, as you all know, for this second review of any kit I do, I tend to go over with all the individual parts. I just give you a much more better detailed review of and description of all the parts that are associated with these kits, right before I do a full review where I put it all together, assemble it, and of course give my thoughts, the good, the bad, and everything else in between. So with that being said, let's get started. First off, I'll start with the body. Now, the body is very similar to the Berserk Fury. Nothing really has changed here. The only difference is, of course, is the color. But I actually find that this part is actually kind of nice. It has a good enough of detail. The one thing I will mention is as I stated in the unboxing video, where there were two different types of red. I decided to paint both of those red plastic pieces metallic red. However, the one thing I've noticed, and maybe you might be able to see it here, is that the lighter red that I paint over, you can still tell the difference between that and the darker shade of red. Even though I used the same paint for both, you can tell there's a slight difference. And I am unsure if you can see from here, but this piece right here is actually, there we go. This piece right here is a lighter red, and these were actually the darker red pieces. So there might be a slight different shade there. Maybe you can see it, but if you look close enough, you can see the difference. But oh no, I am thankful that I decided to paint over both the light and darker red pieces. I think it's a lot better for the colors to match a little bit, just like how it is on the Berserk Fury. But that aside, I did a little bit already, but for articulation, there is side-to-side swivel. Unfortunately, it does not go up and down. There was some articulation in the, well, these would be the joints for the legs, so once the legs are attached, you'll see it a little bit better. And a little bit in the arms too. So yeah, I think this might go, yep, this piece for the tail will go up and down like so for right now. Next up is the tail, and I stated in my Genosaur, Genobreaker, and my Berserk Fury reviews is that the tail is basically used to use as ventilation to just open up so it can release in the air whenever the Berserk Fury with the fire is charged particle cannon. So it is no different to this one. Of course, the only difference is that the Genosaur tends to open like on 4 parts of the tail, whereas the Berserk Fury is only 3. Now, the Berserk Fury, and of course this one, opens on 4 in this case, and I'll show that in a minute. But I just want to show you that, as I stated in the body, this also came with 2 different types of red color pieces. These pieces here were darker red, whereas the tip of the tail is lighter red. So, like I said, even though I used the same spray paint, you may see that difference in shade. But aside from that, though, it is pretty nice. I did add some paint lining to these caps here, both the underside and top side. I was thinking about adding some paint lining because there's some areas here on the tail, but I've tried that on some pieces I've painted before, and it just says that the cleanup might be a little bit difficult because sometimes I may ruin the paint that I've used. I know there's a way around it, so I'll be sure to look that up. But I normally don't paint a line pieces that I've already painted. If I'm not going to paint it, then I'll just paint a line it like so. But that aside, though, for articulation, each piece of the tail do move independently, like so. And it can move up and down like so. And once you straighten that out, you can open these up. And the one thing I do like is if you move the top part, the bottom part moves automatically, or vice versa. That's pretty nice. And the tip of the tail do open up, and of course you have this little claw piece as another attack weapon. And also I have painted the gold pieces in this kit as well. So this piece I painted, and even though it may look like it, I did not put painted lining in these areas there, but they just seem dark enough that it adds that detail, so I'm really happy with that. But that's about it for the tail. Next up is the head. Very similar to that of Berserk Fury, but the head I would say has a little bit more, some jagged edges, so to make it stand out a little bit better. But other than that, it is pretty nice. I actually find I am happy that I used the metallic red. I think it actually made this look a little bit more sinister, in my opinion. But I would say all of the Tyrannosaurus type Zoids that's out there, they always have like a menacing look. So I really am happy the way how this turned out. But the one thing I do want to add for this one now, I am unsure of whether maybe I need to smooth out some areas, but I think it's actually due to the pilot. But to show you, the one thing I like about the Berserk Fury is that the cockpit actually opens in two different directions. So first you open that one like this, and then you open this one like so. So you see that pilot there. Now this pilot is just one solid figure. As I stated in previous videos, that some Zoid kits, either you build the figure, the pilot, or you there's sometimes they come, especially with the newer kits. I've been saying the newer kits, the figure is always built together. You don't need to assemble it. However, for this one, I think one of the legs just was not straight properly, like how the other leg was. So whenever I put that inside there, I had to wiggle it in just a little bit. But when I did so, I don't know if you can tell, but the cockpit is not seated all the way down. It's not the end of the world, just a little thing there, just a little nitpicky. But if you close this up, then you can't tell. So it's not that bad. But with that being said, to show some articulation, ball joint for the neck, and I'll show this articulation for the next video. But just like the tail, if you move the top or bottom, the other one moves automatically, so that also opens up. And of course, it can open this mouth, and there's the gun for the charged particle cannon, and it can extend just a little bit, like so. And I also paint the teeth. I will say though, I've seen it where some other hobbyists, they tape this pretty well. Like they would just tape the teeth up after they painted gold, and then they'll paint this like a gunmetal or even black, so that way it doesn't look that bad. But even like this, I'd say it looks pretty good, personally. There's the head. Next up are the legs. The legs here are a little bit similar, but also a little bit different than the Berserk Fury. I would say the top part is basically the same, but the middle, so around the knees, and of course the feet are different. As you can tell, I also painted this all metallic red. I believe all these were lighter red, so you may not see. The only thing that I think was darker was the kneecap, but everything else was the same color, so the kneecap will look a little bit darker than the other red parts of the leg. But that aside though, also painted the toes gold, so definitely makes that stand out a little bit better. But yeah, other than that, oh, and paint lining in these caps here, on both sides. But other than that, pretty straightforward, very similar to the Berserk Fury. But I do like how it is different too. Of course, make this kit stand out a little bit better. But yeah, the Berserk Fury, one big difference is, aside from the knee, is also the feet. The Berserk Fury has 2 tabs that will move down as stabilizers, or really anchors whenever it fires its main weapon, whereas this one just has 1 anchor per foot. So all you gotta do is just anchor that down like so, and it's basically, that's about it. The one downside is this doesn't have jets behind its legs like the Berserk Fury, so that's kind of a little bit disappointing there too, but it's not that bad. It's actually pretty nice. But the show for articulation, so like I showed, you have the anchor there. This piece fortunately is in the way, so you can't move that too much. The toes can move up and down, and of course if you move too much, then this piece will just come loose. So just be careful there. I may add some rubber cement, I haven't decided yet, but we shall see. The knee, this can go down, this can go up. And there is a little swivel there at the ankle. This one, the one there too, just a little bit. The upper leg, you can extend it all the way like so, and there's actually 2 joints here. So there's one there, so that can go all the way, and of course the one here. Actually, oh, I'm sorry, there's actually 3 joints, I miscounted. Yeah, there's one inside there, there's one there, and one here. So you can definitely position this in various ways. So looking forward how that's going to turn out when it's all assembled. Next up are the arms. Pretty standard, just like the Berserk Fury. The one thing I will add, I don't know if you can tell, but I tried to clean these up a little bit. These are the runner marks that I was trying to smooth out, but I didn't want to sand or smooth out to like this piece of the mold, so I kind of let it go. But other than that, is pretty sleek, pretty slick. The one big difference, of course, is the upper arm. The Berserk Fury did not have this. This is actually a connection point for a weapon that's specific to this type of kit, and I'll show that in a minute. But I was actually kind of surprised. I was expecting the main weapon to be on the back, but I'll show the Batpack shortly. But it'll be interesting. So I'm kind of looking forward to see how this is going to look when it's fully assembled. But that aside, though, this is also another good example of there were 2 types of red. This piece right here, where my thumb is at, that was a darker shade, whereas here and the shoulder or a lighter red, but I decided to paint them over, so at least they have that nice gleam, that nice shine to every piece. That's kind of nice. So for articulation, there's an elbow joint right there, actually extends it pretty well. I can rotate the arm 360 degrees. The hand can move also 360 degrees in that direction. One of the talons can move downward. The arm can move downward. Pretty nice. So it can close his fingers, like so. And yeah, that's about it for the arms. And here are the weapons associated with the Sturm Tyrann. This is the Sturm Tyrann's version of the X-Breaker, similar to that of the Geno Breaker. So you can see that part's video. But a little bit different, but has the same concept. Red with his claws. Those were silver, this is gold. So as you can tell, paint here, metallic red, paint this gold. So pretty self-explanatory there. But it's kind of nice. I do like the way how this hit. Basically, to me, it combines the weapon of the Berserk Fury with the weapons of the Geno Breaker. So he came up with this. Still kind of nice. I like the way how this looks. And this, as I said, is going to attach to the arms instead of the backpack. So that's a little bit interesting. So see how that's going to turn out. But yeah, pretty nice. Good enough details, especially. Like I said before, I'm a little bit hesitant if I add some panel linings to parts that I painted, but I don't think it's even needed. You can see the detail here on both the X breakers, was pretty nice. The details here on this part, you may need to get a little close up there. There's some lines there, but still pretty nice. Nice detail. So for articulation, the extension part is right here, but it does rotate pretty well, 360 degrees. Of course, this will be this piece can also do 360 degrees movement, but that will be at the attachment point to the arms. And as for the claws, they can open like so. And they have two articulation points. There's one there. Same thing on the bottom, like so. And of course there. And lastly, the backpack, this was actually the most surprising piece for me. About this kit. Like I said, I thought the weapons would be attached to the backpack, but no. Instead, they just added bigger thrusters on the back. So basically, they have 4-point thrusters just on the backpack alone. So as I stated in the links, there's no thrusters like how it was on Berserk Fury, so I believe they just moved that to the backpack for this kit, which is still fine. It's not bad. It actually kind of works out. So. This is still pretty nice, pretty sleek there. You can tell all these are metallic red after I'm done painting them. These were the darker red, these were the lighter red. But it is pretty nice. There's a lot of detail here. Because this is dark, it's kind of hard to even put panel linings there, but there's plenty of detail just on the backpack here. Plenty of detail on the smaller thrusters and the bigger ones here. And this is just another, you could say jets, some thrusters there too. So this can move, I guess if this was a wheel, you can say this can move pretty fast with all the amount of stabilizers and thrusters it can do. So yeah, it's pretty nice. So for articulation, there are various points. For the small thrusters or stabilizers, these can open, and these can move up and down. Unfortunately, they cannot extend. For these can move almost 360 degrees. This can move all around. This can, I believe this can move forward. I might be wrong. I thought there was another step. Yeah, actually, there was another one. Yeah, you just need to get these out. So yeah, there's another extension point. So you can move those forward. And these can rotate out like so. But there'd be a lot of things that would be in the way, so it may not be the best to extend these out, but still, the option is there. So we can close that. And of course, these can open. They can open on the bottom and on the top. So, pretty nice. And that's about it for the backpack. Thank you all for watching. This has been a kit that I've been looking forward to building for quite some time now, and I'm glad that I'm able to get the time to showcase it. And of course, if this is a kit worth getting, if whether you are fans of Zoids, whether you're a fan of model kits, Sturm Tyrann specifically, Berserk Fury, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to see how this is fully put together. I hope you stay tuned and watch out for that video that's coming up. But the one thing I do want to add before I end this is that there's just some extra parts that this kit has. Not too many. This mostly is just some PC, some poly caps there. And there's this was I believe part of the vents or jets thrusters that was part of the leg, but these were for the Berserk Fury behind the knee. But as I showed you, these are no longer needed for the Sturm Tyrann, so these are just extra parts. And I'm not too familiar where these go, but yeah, just some extra pieces, so just be watchful of that. But again, not the end of the world. But with all that being said, again, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more video updates. There are two videos here. The one is more recent, where this was the unboxing of this kit, and one that YouTube picked out. So with that being said, thank you one last time, and until next time, keep on building.